everyone. It's the coach. Welcome to EA Sports coverage of the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl from right here in Orlando, Florida. Coming up, the AFC looking to make it 3 in a row as they square off against their rivals from the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first, let's get you downtown to Camping World Stadium. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
Excitement? Well, we got that in abundance as this Pro Bowl is underway from Orlando, Florida. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The NFC offense taking the field, being led in blue by the NFL's all-time passing leader. 12th Pro Bowl nomination for the great QB from New Orleans, Drew Brees.
And you and I both know that this is not easy for him. It's fun to play football at any time, but you know he'd rather be preparing for the Super Bowl and still trying to get that missed call out of his head that may have prevented his Saints from getting there.
Brees now on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Trying to disrupt Julio Jones there, the intended target. A little too close, got the flag thrown.
I'm not sure anyone can cover Julio Jones one-on-one for very long without getting their share of pass interference calls. His size, his speed, his physicality makes it almost impossible to do.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination. Though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game. He keeps himself in such superb physical condition and still loves everything that goes along with football. He may play till he's 60.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And that's picked up by the AFC. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta. New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl prediction, CD. What do you think?
Well, everyone thinks defense when they think the New England Patriots, but in the time that they've had their head coach and their quarterback, Tom Brady, guess what? They're the #1 offensive team in the NFL. And you know the Rams are high flyers as well. So that tells me that this Super Bowl, low scoring. It's going to be a total anomaly. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 13-10 final score, going totally opposite what it should be.
Wow, I'm going to completely disagree. I see high scoring, maybe 51-44, something like that. The two punters, Johnny Hecker and Ryan Allen, don't even show up to this one.
Johnny Hecker might throw a touchdown pass because you know the Rams like to fake it when he's on the field.
It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. For Patrick Mahomes, what a season he had. First as a full-time starter, and he goes over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and rewarded with his first Pro Bowl.
And think about if you're in Kansas City, the organization, the team, the city, How well are you set up for future years where that youngster is your quarterback? Not only are the guys on the team excited about it, think about free agents, thinking about where they might want to play. If you're a free agent receiver, you're thinking Kansas City.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Aaron Donald with a sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well. Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. Able to slither by. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the score.
A breakaway for Michael Thomas. And all the way in for the touchdown. Michael Thomas, 78 yards. And the NFC has taken the lead. Well, we saw that tandem hook up quite a few times during the regular season, didn't we?
We certainly did, and it continues now in the Pro Bowl. You have to know that even if they didn't consciously plan it, you do try and find guys you're familiar with in a game like this.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fairly short kick, taken at the foot. Now a hit and a loose football. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there. Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
And now they'll try to pile on.
Ready, little lady. Come on out here, come get some. Come get some. Come on here, come get some.
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. And that one's complete to Gurley. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Starters for the NFC across the O-line. It's Tyron Smith of Dallas at left tackle, Brandon Brooks of the Eagles at left guard. You got Alex Mack, the center of the Falcons, another Cowboy, Zach Martin at right guard, and then Teron Armstead of the Saints holding down the right side. To throw again on second down. Brees, throw left side on target to Thielen. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The starting defense now for the AFC.
One of the best young safeties in the NFL, Jamal Adams. Keep an eye out for him because no one is safe when he's on the field, including mascots. Just ask Pat the Patriot. Jamal Adams was also the 2019 Pro Bowl Defensive MVP.
From the gun on third down, Brees. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The AFC offense making their way back out. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing on second and 14. Mahomes. And down he'll go at the 25.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right, and that game was played out in L.A., in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then, they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27, MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham, nickname Automatic. Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Operating from the 27 now. Here's second and 3.
Hey, check.
Here's Brees to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big 30-yard play on third. Well, he was so good throwing the football on third down during the regular season. Why wouldn't it carry over here to the Pro Bowl?
Sometimes that's just who you are, right? If you're good at something as you said, during the regular season, so what if it's with a bunch of guys you're unfamiliar with? It's third down, he finds a way to convert.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. Brees now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Now Brees looking deep for Julio. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with two straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're taking a stand right here.
And he will score. Touchdown, NFC. Drew Brees, his second touchdown pass here in the opening quarter of this game. And the NFC able to widen their advantage.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Roses to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Roses on to kick it away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's something that...
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he's going to bring this one back for an NFC touchdown.
I have to believe that in a Pro Bowl situation, we talk about these defensive backs during the season, that they're educated gamblers. They take the education out of it. They just go for the football here. Hey, try and make a big play, and if you get one, you really look terrific in this game.
Roses now to add the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's scooped up by the NFC. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
We're going to shut you down.
The offense for the NFC back out there. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Okay, double up.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Brees. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
This pass into the hands of the running back, Todd Gurley. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The AFC offense making their way back out. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And there's so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though. I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Drew Brees and his NFC teammates set to begin their next drive. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
The protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Brees and the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Brees now to throw. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Well, we've talked about this game being hosted here in Orlando, and you and I are quite familiar with this place, especially you. You live, what, 20, 25 minutes from here?
Yeah, not bad at all, right? An easy trip to come right to the studios here in Orlando. You, of course, have to give a little bit more effort, a quick flight, then you're here, but you've learned this city quite well. And how about it, the Madden studios right here in Orlando? That's where Coach and the guys hang out as well.
Now Brees on 3rd down. Pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Khalil Mack of the Bears, the one to make the tackle. We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. You know, they held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this deck. And he will score. Touchdown AFC. Travis Kelce, 56 yards. And the AFC able to get a bit closer. That's what we want right there, CD. It's a Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want plays that cover a lot of ground. We want long-distance plays, whether long-distance runs, long-distance passes. It doesn't matter. In the Pro Bowl, big plays are what we're all looking for.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's a 27-10 score now. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The NFC offense heading back onto the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here we go.
Throwing now is Brees. Steps away to his left. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's NFC football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Ready. Yellow lady. Check. 55 to Mike. Man out, man out, man out, man out. Touch.
On 1st down, Brees. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards on the pickup there.
Yellow lady.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jarrell Casey with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no...
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3-and-out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
37 yards on the punt with no return. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Patrick Mahomes and the AFC ready to go on offense. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Now Mahomes. He's going to look deep down the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fill him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
The Bengals' Geno Atkins on the stop. Charles, this the 2019 Pro Bowl. The AFC's won both games that have been played here in Orlando since they moved it here. Both have been competitive, 20-13 2 seasons ago, and the last year in 2018 it was 24-23 the final.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, Travis Kelce, Lorenzo Alexander were the game MVPs, offense and defense respectively. And then last year, Delaney Walker of the Titans, their tight end, he won it on offense, and Von Miller of the Broncos won it on defense.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him. That full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. And shutting him off, now open field. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. On second down, here's Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Gurley.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Travis Kelce, the all-pro tight end, the intended receiver. But now it's third down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yeah. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Drew Brees and his NFC teammates set to begin their next drive. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Brees. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield.
When we watch Drew Brees practice, the thing that always strikes us is after every throw he makes, he continues to go through his progressions. You know, so he gets that muscle memory. Okay, in a game, if I don't have this throw I just made, I might have this one, I might have that one. It's amazing. One of the reasons he's come out so hot today, he's already seen it happen.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw is Brees. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, and it's third down.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
from 8 yards out, and the NFC adds on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Roses to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Roses on to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, it's Connor, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Mahomes complete to his tight end. It's Kelsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders as captains. Year 2, Michael Irvin and Chris Carter. And then in year 3, Michael Irvin again matching up against Jerry Rice.
And one common denominator, every single one of those guys with a gold jacket, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So they didn't ask you and I to be the captains and make the picks. And by the way, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, went 2-0. And you know I heard all about that.
They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first. Well, the pressure gets home, and the AFC comes up with a sack. Geno Atkins got home that time. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Now, how about that play right there? Party, remember I told you about the home run hitter theory that someone told me?
And he's going to go down again. Geno Atkins picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Well, you feel the excitement build on those fourth down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on fourth down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on fourth down. Sets up the screen to Gordon. Give him 6 there, but now it's third. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now here's Mahomes, and that will be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Ready. Yellow lady. All day, dog.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. But he will not make the first down marker, and that'll be a turnover on downs. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Myers' kick is good. So we've reached halftime of the 2019 Pro Bowl with the NFC on top. As we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
The NFC looking to rewrite a little history as they lead this 2019 Pro Bowl at the break. Now remember, they've lost both of the previous Pro Bowls played here in Orlando. But maybe, just maybe, this is the one to break the streak. A lot still to play for in the second half as we go back to Camping World Stadium and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he finds his Chiefs teammate, Travis Kelce. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific at.
And that's caught inside the 35.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Working from the gun, Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he will score. Touchdown AFC from 19 yards away. And the AFC able to cut into the lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Geno Atkins able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Go ahead, take a seat. You can't stop me.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a handoff for Gurley. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Now Gurley staying down. Well, let's hope he's all right. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A handoff to Barkley. J.J. Watt of the Texans there on the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the AFC will have it 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Hey, you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play. Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game. But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Brees in the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Working from the gun, it's Brees. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Brees to throw. Pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack. Myles Garrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Like how they started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete here. The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Come on now, let's go!
Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Brees going to throw. And the pressure gets to Brees as he's taken down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Brees lets it fly for Thielen. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Patrick Mahomes in the AFC ready to go on offense. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the 1st half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Going deep for Hopkins. And that is incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. The return, they're calling 13 yards. And NFC is going to have a short field as they take over 1st and 10. Todd Gurley in the offense gets 7 trot back out there now. And after a sluggish start, he's only bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
In your baseball guy partner, how many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
160.
50 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. Not the first you carry. Don't worry about that. And go along. Get that guy lathered up. Get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. A big play. Brees finding Thomas. 42 yards. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a 2nd one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And this is going to be secured by the AFC. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
That will throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
The Panthers' Luke Kuechly there on the tackle.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain.
Mahomes now on first down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And it's second down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Hill. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
So his third field goal of the ballgame brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And sevens, and probably even eights. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Brees. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Brees. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Brees now. And that one's complete to Gurley. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll be third down. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Brees now to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. It's the NFC with the lead and the football as we start the 4th. And Rosas puts this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is taken near the 13. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The AFC offense making their way back out. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and they'll have to live with that for the rest of the year.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Fletcher Cox, the Eagles All-Pro, there to make the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
To throw, it's Brees. And he rifles one incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield. Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool him.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Von Miller. Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. And the pressure gets to him again. Von Miller. And the AFC is going to get the football back in great field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle. Still
going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
The offense for the NFC back out there. And as it looks right now, granted you have to include the years where the legends pick the squads, but this NFC team is going to have a chance to come away victorious for the first time since January of 2013.
It's almost going to be like you hear in college. We hear the chant of SEC, SEC all the time because they take such great pride in their conference. I think you hear the NFC chant coming from those guys on the sidelines now. Would you say the first time since 2013? That's a long time for these guys, and they've taken a lot of ribbing from those guys in the AFC.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah,
and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a second down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Escaping the pressure right. Now Brees lost the football. And that's picked up by the AFC. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door jar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. And out across midfield, down to the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Fletcher Cox, the Eagles All-Pro, there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move left.
And he will score. Touchdown AFC. DeAndre Hopkins. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the AFC able to capitalize on the fumble recovery as it leads to 6 points. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Now Myers for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Nifty move. And a very good return, but a penalty marker is down. I'm not sure what this is going to be.
Defense.
Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Looking downfield for Jones. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown NFC. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees. And the NFC able to widen their advantage. Wouldn't be the Pro Bowl without the QBs taking some shots, and that shot paid off.
He understood, I don't know if it's instinctively or if he did his homework, that you do take your shots, as you said, in this game because the payoff is terrific. We will remember how many touchdown passes you threw. I don't think we ever recall how many interceptions you throw in a game like this.
Roses now to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Mahomes.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you got to make that throw, right? That's got to be completed.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And that's going to make it 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the NFC is going to get the football back in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Brees now on 1st down. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now Brees. Rush coming, and he's taken down. J.J. Watt getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Here's Brees. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. J.J. Watt, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So they have now gone for it on 4th 4 times, and they have converted no times.
I know we talk about analytics and how it's entered into the game, and there's a good percentage that says, go for it, you will actually make a good percentage. In this case, the analytics just went right out the window. 0 for 4. They've got to start looking at things in a different way.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him bleed the game out that way.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the NFC is going to get the football back in excellent field position. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. Well, it didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back. Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady. Come to my work.
Brees now on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Brees. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
57's the mic, right? 57. You got nothing. You got nothing.
Now Brees on 3rd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz, too fast to handle.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Rosa's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And this is going to be secured by the AFC.
Let's go, baby.
The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
To throw again on 2nd down, Mahomes, and he'll get it down here to the 43. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Mahomes now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag.
Offside.
And on 4th down, this is a big call. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Geno Atkins able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Von Miller, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Now it's Gurley.
Now we talk about players blitz.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, touchdown. Todd Gurley, 93 yards. And the NFC adds on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Rosas to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And last year's rushing and total touchdown leader Todd Gurley caps it with his 1st of the game here. And this is going to be secured by the AFC.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The AFC offense making their way back out. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Hill, the intended receiver once again, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line.
And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the AFC able to get a bit closer. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Mahomes now going to lead his guys up for the 2-point try. Now it's Mahomes again. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the NFC. He's at the 50. 30. 20. 10. And can you believe this? It's 2 points the other way on the fumble return. Boy, that got pretty close to disaster. Going for 2, you cough it up. They almost returned it all the way to the other end for 2 for themselves.
You think a lecture on ball security is in order here? Because and it's not just taking care of it, it's what you just talked about. What can result when you don't take care of it? They almost gave up a score.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And I tell you what, the AFC continuing their good run of form the last few years. They're on their way to making it 3 straight wins here at the Pro Bowl. Well, the pressure gets home, and the AFC comes up with a sack. Jarrell Casey able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And, oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.